Goodness me, hello everyone, hello, it's Choco Roberto here for another video review. It's a gingerbread special, we've got all sorts going on here. Goodness me, I can barely hold all these, but yeah. So if I do all these at once, it's a bit of a strong lineup as well. Might be a bad idea, I don't know, but they're all gingerbread related basically. So we've got, yes, limited edition gingerbread Pepsi. Not labelled as Pepsi Max or Pepsi Light or Pepsi Diet or Diet Pepsi, whatever it's called. Yeah, but it is zero sugar nonetheless. So yeah, so interesting that. I don't know why they've not labelled it as, you know, diet drink, but maybe just to make it sound more appealing, I'm not sure, but there we go. Why not make it full fat then? I don't really know. But anyway, we've got gingerbread Doritos as well. Goodness me, limited edition, yeah, so very interesting flavour. That, we'll see how that works. And we have reviewed these last year, gingerbread Oreos. I was a bit disappointed with these ones. We'll see if they're any better or not. Basically, just didn't have any ginger taste in them at all. We've also got these as well, yes. Basically, I'm interrupting my own review here, my own gingerbread special with a couple of gingerbread special items. Ones I sort of forgot I had. Basically, they were on the they were basically next to well, essentially in the pile in the stash. And I just forgot I had them. I just kept them separate from all the other gingerbread ones. I knew there was something I was missing as well. As it turned out, there was two things. So Soreen Gingerbread Mini Loaves, deliciously snowy, it says. And also the KitKat gingerbread flavour. Look at that. Yes, new. Yeah, so basically you'll be seeing me interrupting my own review of these later on as well, and to talk about them, what have you. So, you know, it's just one of those continuity editing type things. I'll try and do my best, but you'll sort of see me refer to the other four things, and then I'll throw in these two as well, something like that. We'll see what happens, but the gist of it is I'll be reviewing these at the same time. So anyway, I'll cut away now, whatever, back to where I was. In reality, I'm actually continuing the reviews of these two things, so there we go. Yes, it's a Christmas one, even though it's just the start of September, basically. Yes, Maltesers Gingerbread flavour Reindeers, mini and regular. Yes, quite nice. Go quite well together. I don't really like that. So just holding them in the right place, I think. But yeah, so I saw these ones originally, the mini ones. I think I saw them in Asda, but you can get them in other places now. And I think I saw the main one. I think this was in Tesco actually, near the checkouts. They had like a little section of random confectionery, and this was among them. So yeah, there we go. Maltesers Gingerbread Cake Bars as well. These are new this year. Yes. So quite excited for those ones also. Yeah, interesting one. Yeah, so definitely gingerbread seems to be the thing this year. It was around last year, maybe the year before. Chocolate digestives had a gingerbread flavour at one point, and I'll say Oreo around last year as well. I think there might be a gingerbread chocolate digestive this year also. Can't quite recall. There's probably going to be other gingerbread products going around as well. You know, I can't wait for them all to appear basically. Maybe if there's enough of them, I'll do a gingerbread special part 2, you never know. But yeah, so here we are. So interesting one. Well, I think probably leave the Doritos to last. I feel like they might be the ones that linger in the mouth a bit more basically. So the gingerbread Oreos then, I think. It's a good place to start. Good place as any anyway. So flavour cooking, vanilla flavour cream or creme. Alright, so we'll see. Does it actually have any gingerbread flavour in there? Let's have a look. What's it say on the back? Gingerbread flavour sandwich biscuits with vanilla flavour filling, 29%. Alright, so let's see. Palm oil's got in there. Plain caramel. Flavouring cinnamon powder. So it's got cinnamon powder flavouring. So where's ginger powder? Maybe? You know, 154 grams. So it's basically going to be the same, isn't it, as last year. You know, I gave it 2 out of 5 last year. We'll give it a go again just in case. You never know. 481 calories per 100 grams. 20 grams of fat, 5.1 which is saturates, and per 22 grams, which is 2 biscuits. 106 calories, 4.5 grams of fat, 1.1 of which is saturates, obviously half that for one biscuit, so 53 calories of biscuit, 2.25 grams of fat, 0.55 of which is saturates, I believe that is. Alright, okay, so let's give this a go then. You know, as I don't like to change the recipe, why would they, I guess? You know, why have a gingerbread flavour if it's not actually flavoured with ginger in any way, shape or form? I mean, gingerbread, you know, it's not just going to be solid ginger, is it? It's going to be like a sort of cakey flavour. I mean, it looks the part, it looks like gingerbread. But it smells just of cinnamon. It literally just smells of cinnamon. It's madness. Why is it labelled as gingerbread? I don't get it at all. All right, so it's a typical. Oh yeah, it looks very nice. I mean, they got a little gingerbread man on there. You know. But yeah. All right, let's give it a taste. It just tastes of cinnamon with a cream centre. I mean, the cream doesn't taste of any in particular, it just tastes of cream, I think. The vanilla flavoured cream. So that's a bit strange as well. Why is that not flavoured gingerbread or anything like that? But yeah, I mean, it tastes of cinnamon, you know, it's a bit similar to sort of Lebkuchen or something, I don't know. It's nice enough, you know, but it's but it tastes of cinnamon. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Let's try dipping it in a warm cup of coffee. Let's just see if that brings out something in it. Not particularly. It's still nice, but it doesn't taste. No, most biscuits taste better when dunked, but this one doesn't taste anything too special when dunked. It's okay, but yeah, it's it's basically tastes of cinnamon, so it's not gingerbread at all. I don't know why they've labelled it as gingerbread. Very strange. Did it last year, done it this year. So 2 out of 5 for me. That one still. It's just not gingerbread. Right. Okay, let's taste the cake bars then. Maltesers Cake Bars. They're very interesting, these ones, for sure. Interestingly, the sell-by date is before Christmas. Well, there's no, you know, I guess a Christmassy product, but let's say it has to be ate by Christmas, I guess, but you might think they would be. So ginger flavoured sponge cake bars with a malt flavoured cream, coloured sugar pieces, cocoa coated honeycomb pieces, and covered in milk chocolate. So milk chocolate 40%, vegetable fat's palm in there, alright, vegetable oils as well, palm oil also. More palm fat there. Coloured sugar pieces 2.6% there it says. Any other percentages we can see? Not seeing anything obvious. Maybe there is. Yeah. Alright. So we've already got 42.6% accounted for at the moment, so there's over half the product missing, but actually that's probably cake, maybe the cream as well. So you think there'll be a percentage for the cream somewhere, but I can't see it easily. But maybe there is and I've just missed it. Alright. Okay, so pushed per pack 500 grams, 487 calories, 27 grams of fat, 13 of which are saturates, push size box 26.2 grams. So that's per cake, I assume, yes. And per cake, 128 calories, 7.1 grams of fat, 3.4 which are saturates. And there we go. So it's vegetarian instead of the bottom there. I like sugar, so. Alright, so yes, cakes with crunch it says. Yeah, interesting. Alright. So there as well, nice packaging. Okay, so I'll open this. So basically, you know, whenever I do these cake bar reviews, the sort of cardboard tray that come in, there's always room for like loads more of the product than they actually have in there. Because they're in a big sort of packet as well, which doesn't take up the space of the actual cake inside. So you can see there's like a, you know, there's sort of space there. And it looks like, oh, you know, there's not much, you know, there's not much leeway, but there actually will be. So let's take one out and I'll show you. And I'm actually cake bar actually very small, nice packaging though. But if I take this out of the actual wrapper, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so here it is. So plonk it back in the box. Alright, so you can see there, look at that, you know, it is, there's a good sort of inch at the top missing there, and if you apply that sort of times 5, then I think you could easily say you could fit in one more there. You could probably fit in just 2 side by side along the top there, couldn't you, with that space missing, at least, and then there's still some more gappage, so you get the gist of it. They could fit probably 2 more in at least, maybe 3, you know. Does look like it does on the front though. I think they didn't used to look quite like that. I think they didn't used to sort of show that they had that sort of nubbin at the top. I think they used to make them look like they were domed all the way from edge to edge, but you can see they've kind of embraced that look to it now. Let's give it a bit of a chop. I'll give it a bit of measure first actually, why not? We'll give it a bit of measure. We've got the old calipers somewhere. Usually knocking around, yes here they are. Okay. Right, calipers there. Alright. It started to rain outside. Doesn't seem like it was a rainy day, but there we go. About 6.9 centimetres. There, height. Roughly 2.2, 2.3. And the width. 3.1, 3.2 if you round up. There we go. Alright. Okay. And we've got this little step, haven't we? I'll try and measure the step. It's a bit not quite flat at the top. It's roughly 1.5. Okay, there we go. Alright, interesting. There we are. Okay, let's give it a bit of a chop as well. I'll show you the cross section. So chop it from the side when I do this, just so it doesn't scrunch the top down. Okay, so there we go. That's so yeah, looks a bit darker in person. You can see it's not quite as picturesque as it looks like on the product packaging, but nonetheless it's, I think it's acceptable. You know, maybe the top bit's not quite as wide, you can argue. It does look like it's you know, got a nice colour to the sponge there, which I quite like. I think it looks a bit well, nothing too dramatic, but yeah, looks okay. Looks alright. You can see there's obviously, there probably is little pieces in there, but you can't really detect them, or you can't really see them as well as you can on the picture on the front. But can you taste them? Well, let's find out. Let's give it a go. Now this does taste of gingerbread. There's that sort of slight gingery but cakey taste, and I guess the cake part comes natural because it has got cake here, of course. So it has that sort of biscuity. Well, I guess it's more of a cakey taste with gingerbread, really, even though it's a biscuit, I guess. But and obviously that comes naturally with this because it does have a cake in it. No, this does taste of gingerbread. It's nice. It's not just ginger either. It tastes of gingerbread. Gingerbread flavour sponge. with a malt flavour cream. Okay, so it's just a sponge that tastes of gingerbread, apparently. Let's just try the cream on the top. It does have a slight Maltesery taste. But it's good. The sponge in these sort of cake bars tends to be quite boring normally. But in this case, with that gingerbread flavour, and it works. It's nice. It does taste of gingerbread. And this is a good product, really. It's not blow your socks off, but it comes across as gingerbread like, you know, which the Oreos certainly didn't. So I think for me it's not bad, really. And the sponge is nice. It's got nice crunchy bits. It tastes a bit of Maltese with the cream. Not massively so. You get a bit of crunch. That doesn't taste like Maltese. It just tastes of crunchy bits. You know, I mean, it doesn't really taste like Rice Krispie pieces or anything, but it doesn't massively taste of Malteser because they're a bit too small. It just has coloured sugar pieces. So yeah, it would be better if they were bits of Malteser maybe. So it's 3.5, 4. These cake bars are usually nothing too dramatic, but as I say, with the sponge being quite prominently flavoured gingerbread, it lifts that part of it, which is quite a lot of the bar really. It's over half of it probably, isn't it? Let's face it. So yeah, so it's 3.5 or 4. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say 4 out of 5, but I think it's probably very close to a 3.5 really. I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt by the fact that the gingerbread in the sponge tastes pretty good. Alright, so let's try this then, Pepsi. I love the packaging on this one. I think it does look nice. Very good indeed. There we are. So it's a diet drink, 0 sugar, so there's not much going on in it. Carbonated, low-calorie gingerbread cola flavoured soft drink with sweeteners. Best served chilled. It is served chilled. You can see the condensation on it. I've chilled it to the max. Not the Pepsi Max though, because it's not Pepsi Max apparently. Pepsi Cola. So there's the ingredients there: carbonated water, flavourings, including caffeine. Some colour in there to make it black, presumably, or brown, whatever colour it is. I guess it's brown, isn't it, really? But it looks black. There's the rest of it. Contains a source of phenylamine. Alright, let me know what that is. Pressurised container, handle with care. There's the calories. 0.6 calories per 100 millilitres. Zero of everything else other than salt, which is very minor amounts there. And per 250 millilitres, 2 calories. There's made in GB, it says. Alright, interesting. All the stuff they get in touch, not happy, stuff like that. Right, 2 litres it is. Alright, 2 litre bottle. Okay, so let's hope it doesn't go everywhere. Okay. And look how it says pressurised. Alright. Alright, so there we go. Okay, nice. I've got a glass here. Can I? So I'll fill it. You can't see me doing this, but you can hear it presumably. It's near the microphone, so maybe some ASMR, whatever it is called. You know, maybe I'll turn myself into one of those channels. There we go. So I do drink Pepsi Max generally. It's my drink of choice. So this is going to be not go to waste basically for me. I'm going to enjoy it. Hopefully, well, if it's nice, of course. But well, I guess I'll still finish it off anyway. You know what I mean? Right, so here we go. It's nice and fizzy. I think it looks exactly as you expect it to. I mean, it doesn't really smell of gingerbread. It smells of something. Pepsi. I feel like there is a smell there. It smells maybe dandelion and burdocky sort of smell. There's something there which is not normally a Pepsi smell, I think, but it's very minor, very subtle. It's something, but I don't really know exactly what it is. It's not quite dandelion and burdock, but it's something close to that or getting there. Not quite that strong or vivid. Right, let's give it a taste. Okay, interesting. Does it taste of gingerbread? I don't know. It tastes like it's not a million miles away from something like dandelion and burdock. It's got that kind of taste, but it's not really as strong as that, or perhaps as nice. It's funny, really. It kind of tastes a bit like it tastes like gingerbread, but without the ginger. It's like they've got the bread part of it, like the sort of soft, cakey, biscuity taste somehow, but don't really have the ginger taste. I mean, I guess gingerbread, you know, it's not just ginger, is it? It's not just a ginger flavour. It's gingerbread, so it's got that cakey, biscuity flavour, which they've kind of got, but they've just not got the ginger in it, which is really weird because you would have thought that would be the hard part to do. Yeah. I don't know. It's a funny one. Does it taste of ginger in it? Yeah, as I say, it's a very weird one. This one, for me, as I say, it seems to taste of the bread part of the gingerbread rather than the ginger part, and I don't know how they manage that. I really don't, because I thought that would be impossible. But they've somehow managed to do that. I'm not sure I really like it either. either, to cut to the chase. It's alright, but it's not a very nice taste. Maybe it's because it's got no sugar in it. It just doesn't have that sort of backup, something that's the substance to make it feel like you're sort of tasting something with substance. You know, it just tastes too much like a flavour, I guess. You know, it doesn't have a substance to it. It's very weird. I mean, I don't drink sugar drinks generally anyway. I mean, obviously, if I'm having something a bit different, like a milkshake or something, then obviously I will. But I mean, generally, a Pepsi Max is what I have. It just tastes a bit like it's missing. It just doesn't taste quite. Yeah, it needs sugar in it, I think, really, to make it really work. Maybe that's the thing that's not quite holding it together. I'm not sure, but it doesn't really taste of ginger either. So I don't know. It just tastes of like it just tastes of like a sort of, yeah, I guess gingerbread, but without the ginger flavouring, really. So yeah, interesting. So it's not, but as I say, it's not that nice either. I think the sugar makes it not taste very nice. The lack of sugar makes it taste a bit wrong. It's not quite. It doesn't quite work, I think. And while I say I'm in favour of sugar-free drinks, I think in this case it kind of suffers for it. At least that's my impression anyway. But also the fact, as I say, there's no ginger flavour in there. But the lack of sugar means it doesn't actively taste very nice. I don't know. There's something that doesn't quite work. Yeah, I'm just coming back in actually. I've just finished all the reviews. I've just come back and tasted the Pepsi Max again. And it does have a bit more of a stronger ginger flavour than I originally gave it, I think. It's not too bad actually. Well, as far as gingerbread flavour is concerned. I don't think it's still relatively very pleasant. I think I'm going to bump it up. So I said a 1.5 originally, but I'm going to say a 2 out of 5 now. I think it's it's still it's a bit better. It's a bit better. Maybe pushing a 2.5 maybe, but I still don't think it's actively that nice. But it does have a bit more of the ginger flavour. I got the sort of heat of the ginger going in, so it did achieve it better than I thought originally. You know, it's better than I thought it was, but it's still not quite. It's still not quite there, I think. You know, I originally thought it just had the cake part and not the ginger part, but it does have a bit more of a gingery taste. I'd say when I sampled it again, so there we go. All right, but now for the we'll put it down here to stop the me kept hitting it and making a noise. But yeah, now the Doritos Gingerbread. This is one that's probably the most interesting, I think, because it's so different, isn't it? I guess the drink Pepsi one was a bit different, but obviously this one I think you'd say was even more crazy. So it's obviously, it says full-on crunch with an intense gingerbread flavour, it says. All right, Doritos are the great tasting bold snack. Crunchy. All right, and someone with very nice nails there, I guess. Well, maybe. Well, are they very nice? I don't know, but some nails anyway. Right, so okay, typical nutritional values: 400 grams, 486 calories, 22 grams of fat, 1.9 of which are saturates, and per 30 grams. I don't know what. There's some kind of percentage there. Well, per something, I don't know. It's got some percent with a asterisk next to it. I don't know what's going on there. 146 calories, 6.7 grams of fat, 0.6 of which is saturates. Okay, reference intake of average adult. I think that's saying 6 servings in it apparently. All right, and just check the weight. Does it have the weight in there? Yes, 180 grams. There we go. All right, interesting. Okay, so there's the gingerbread flavour corn chips. That's the ingredients: corn, maize, rapeseed oil, gingerbread flavour. Guess that's a good start. Right, there it's got sugar, dry spices, ginger powder. So ginger powder. So ginger powder, you see, ginger powder. Let's take us back to the gingerbread Oreos. You know, gingerbread Oreos. There's gingerbread on it quite clearly. What's that got in it? Gingerbread powder? Ginger powder? Whatever you say. No, what's it got? Can't even find it now. It's so low down on the thing. Where is it? Cinnamon powder. There we go. So that's what it's got. Cinnamon powder. That's a good idea, isn't it? So ginger powder does exist. We can see it there. So why is it not in the gingerbread Oreos? Why is cinnamon powder in there? All right. So not that I doubted that ginger powder did exist, but nonetheless, you know, you would have thought, well, maybe something's wrong with ginger that they can't do it in that way. But there we are. All right, so there we go. So yeah, let's get in touch and happy recycling information. Recycle store, don't recycle at home, but you can if these things are sold in the Republic of Ireland. At least when I've seen comparative recycling information is going on when it's in a dual country product. So why can't UK? Don't know. Get in touch and happy stuff like that. Doritos logos are registered trademarks. All right. Okay, so let's give it a go. Let's see. I'm expecting this to hit the mark a bit better than the gingerbread Oreos, that's for sure. Does it smell of gingerbread? Not really. I suppose there's something, but I don't know. I wouldn't say gingerbread. I mean, maybe it does to an extent, but the smell of the corn chips, I think, overrides it a bit. Half empty, it seems. As you can see there, or it seems that way. Let's try taking one out individually. Looks like a typical Dorito. Special going on. It's got some speckles on it. Maybe one on its own smells a bit more gingerbready. There's definitely some smell to it that's a bit, that could be you know, allude to gingerbread flavour. But I think if you didn't know it was gingerbread, you probably wouldn't say it was gingerbread. Even though I do know it's gingerbread, I'm not sure I'm saying it's gingerbread. Yeah, so anyway, yeah. It's got an aroma to it, but it's not quite gingerbready as you'd probably like. But how's it taste? I guess that's the important part, isn't it? So let's find out. Wow. Goodness me. That's very surprising. It's very sweet. It's a weird combination, that tortilla chip and a sweet flavour. Like a sort of brown sugary sweet, I guess you'd say. Well, it's definitely a typical limited edition flavour. It's very distinct and very well, maybe not typical, but you know, in this case, it does. It is what you'd think would a limited edition flavour should be. It's very different, very wacky. I think it's a bit of a funny one, really. Like Doritos tend to be quite full-bodied, don't they? You get when you taste a Dorito, it's got a lot of flavour to it. It's lots of either some kind of powder that they've put on it or something. It's very flavourful. This one tastes a bit like a sort of, you know, an unflavoured sort of tortilla with a dusting of a very small dusting of flavour. So when you eat it, you do get the quite a strong sweet flavour. Not determined if it's gingerbread flavour or not yet. But you get a very distinct flavour of unflavoured tortilla chip, which you don't normally get with Doritos. Whenever you have a Dorito with a flavour on it, it tastes of the flavour and you don't really get the sense of a flavourless tortilla chip. But in this case you are doing. And I don't quite know how that's possible, but that's what's happening. So yeah, so it's a funny one. So it's literally like the flavour's only skin deep, which I guess it always is in a Dorito, but you don't normally detect that. But in this case, that's what's happening. That's what I'm getting. I'm not really tasting gingerbread either. It just tastes like a bit of a sweet taste. It's got a bit of a gingery kick to it. I had a slight detection of it then, actually, but you know, that's the first time. So it's very so it's slightly gingery. It's more so than I think the Pepsi Max, but I think it's not quite that strong. But but you know, you can't make gingerbread flavour that strong, because if you do, then it just tastes of ginger, doesn't it, rather than gingerbread. So they've kind of, I see what they're trying to do. I don't think they've quite got that. I think it just needs a slight bit more of ginger flavour, a slight bit more. So, but it's not bad. It's interesting, but it's I don't think it's a crisp that you'll come back to over and over. It's a sweet crisp, you know what I mean? So it's, you know, and I'm not sure that's a great combination. It's not bad. It's interesting, but I don't know if it's a combination you necessarily want to eat that often. So I think for me, this one, it's not bad though. I think it's a good effort, as I say. The problem with it is it's just not quite enough ginger flavour. It's got the bread part right. It does taste of some kind of, you know, sort of soft biscuits, you know. I guess gingerbread can be quite hard, you know what I mean? But it's not, you know, I don't know. I feel in my mind it's relatively soft, you know what I mean? Relatively. I think for me, 3.5. I'm going to say 3.5 out of 5. It's not bad. It's an interesting one. It's quirky. It's fun, you know what I mean? But it's just not quite there. It's just slightly too weak a flavour of ginger. But the rest of it's not bad, and it's very distinct and very unique and very interesting. But yeah, certainly better than the flavour attempt in the gingerbread Oreos, which doesn't have any ginger powder in it at all. It just has cinnamon powder. It's not even remotely like gingerbread at all. It's not even trying to be. So very bizarre. But yeah, yes, Maltesers Gingerbread flavour reindeers, mini and regular. So basically, we did mini reindeers last year. Do the mint ones as well this year. Might do regular Malteser Reindeers again. Basically a take on what they did for Malteser products a while back, where they did like a malt truffle centre surrounding chocolate with an Easter bunny theme. These ones are obviously reindeer theme, same thing. And this is, as I say, this is the equivalent there. So it was originally Easter bunny inspired one, but now it's a reindeer one as well. I don't think they call them Malteser ones Maltesers anymore. I think they just call them mini bunnies or something. But there we go. I tie them too much into a religious thing, I guess, which I guess is fair enough. But yeah, so what have we got on the bar, what's it say? The milk chocolate 80% with a gingerbread flavour malt filling 16% and honeycomb pieces 3.3%. Those are the ingredients there. It's got palm fat in there. Milk chocolate contains milk solids 14% minimum. Milk chocolate contains vegetable fats in addition to cocoa butter. For vegetarians, get touch and happy, stuff like this. 59 grams seems very light, that doesn't it? You know, it feels light as well. I don't know how much it used to be. So portion per pack 5, so in that individual wrap mini ones. Portion size 9.8 grams. 400 grams, 544 calories, 30 grams of fat, 17 which are saturates, 11.8 grams one portion, which is probably just one of them from the weight of them, since there's 5. 64 calories, 3.6 grams of fat, 2.1 which are saturates. I've got these ones as well, so I'm assuming this is the same. Milk chocolate 68%. Well, there you go, so it's 80% there, so 68% here. So gingerbread flavour filling 27%, 16%. So the proportions are different basically, which I guess makes sense. These are sort of bigger. Full cream in there. Palm fat in this one. Milk solids says milk solids 14% minimum. Veg fat in addition to cocoa butter, 29 grams this one. Can't see any palm oil, natural ginger flavouring it says there. Oh yeah, palm fat there. Alright. Does not have natural ginger flavouring. Natural ginger flavouring there. Okay, and do we have the calories for this one? Yes we do. So 400 grams, 552 calories, 31 grams of fat, 17 which are saturates, and per 29 grams, which is really one of these. Yes, 29 grams there. 160 calories, 9 grams of fat, 5 of which are saturates. So 400 grams, 552, 3117. You can see them side by side here. So 552 for the actual full size one, 3117. Same saturated fat per 100 grams, but 1 gram more of fat in the regular size one, and 8 more calories. Okay, well, okay, these Malteser Gingerbread flavour mini reindeers and regular reindeer and open. There you go. So the full size one a bit more animated, it's like jumping around. Bigger nose maybe. The other one's like sat on its haunches. I don't know what that actually is meant to be. Is it a hand? Is it scratching its head or something? I don't really know. So let's give a bit of information, shall we? So we've got the old calipers here. Okay. Measure the height. A bit knobbly. I'll measure from the highest point, sort of like in between the leg parts, roughly. Very roughly, about 5 centimeters. Width, the nose, the highest, the widest point, 1.5, 1.4. What have we not done? This way, to the feet at the bottom at 2.6. In the middle. 1.9. Okay, and then this one again, so we'll do it from the top of the head to in between the legs again. 7.8. It's tummy, I think this time is the highest point. Maybe it's face, not sure, but we'll do its tummy. I think it's tummy is. Okay, roughly 1.7. And the width, well again, it's not straight, is it? But yeah, did its outstretched arms, roughly 3.4, and its hips or whatever these are, 2.6. Okay. All right. So what that's worth. There we go. We did have the weightage, didn't we, before? As I say. So each one of these is 11.8 grams, as it mentions there. Okay. And this one. 29. Okay. Alright, it's almost 3 times as much, I guess. Alright, so I'll give a bit of a chop. Don't want to do it, but I've just noticed that one's got a bit of an air bubble there, and it's there. But yeah, I'll give a bit of a chop. Okay, there we are, down the centre. Okay, so you can see the difference there. So yeah, it's definitely the bigger one. No, it seems to just have smaller crunches, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, just seems to be a bit more. I think the just the truffle there, the malt truffle, whatever it's called, is a bit more prominent in the bigger one, isn't it? It just seems to be. See the dark colouring there. It's quite hard to see the other one. Yeah, it's called a gingerbread flavour malt filling on both of them, but yeah, I don't know. Definitely seems to be a bit more prominent in the bigger one. Honeycomb pieces. All right, well, we just need to give these a taste, see what the differences are, if there are any. But certainly a thicker. You surprised actually, just noticed the chocolate's quite thick on this one, isn't it? Even though this is the bigger one, it's a thicker chocolate here for some reason, even though there's probably not as much of it, but yeah. This is a slight gingery smell, gingerbready smell, but it tastes more of a malt smell really, to be honest with you, so yeah. But I guess there's a slight gingery smell there. Right, well, as I say, let's give them a taste, find out what's the best of the two, if there's any difference at all. Okay everyone, okay, we're going to give these Maltesers Gingerbread flavour mini reindeers and the regular sized one a taste, why not, so if there's any difference. So yeah, so we've got you got half of a mini one here, so let's give it a bit of a go, see what it's like. Does have a bit of a gingerbread taste, a bit of a Lebkuchen type taste, you know, that sort of thing. Not bad. Quite Christmassy actually. It's a nice sort of truffly, sensible bit of a crunch. Nice, nice smooth, creamy chocolate as well. Let's try the full size one, see if it's any different. Crunch is a lot more prominent in the bigger one. It's a lot creamier. It is different again, the bigger one, I must say. It's a lot stronger. The flavour's a lot stronger. It's more creamier, it's more crunchy. I'll just try a whole of the smaller one just to check, because obviously the smaller one being smaller, of course, if you just have half of it, you may lose a bit of the experience. Let's just try a whole one. No. It's nice, but yeah, it wasn't any different than eating half of it. I say nice gingerbread flavour there. Bit of crunch. But I would say the full size one, you get a lot more crunch, get a lot stronger flavour. You can just see the crunch there, it's just bursting out those like malt balls there. Whereas in the small one, you can see they're just not really as present, you know. And you can see just difference in the colour as well. It's just more of a filling in this one, it seems. Looks like a melty filling in that one. Yeah, the bigger ones are a lot better, really. Just a lot more, just more intense. They've got, I say, the middle it liquefies more, so it's more of a liquidy, truffly centre, I should say. A lot more crunch. Chocolate's more creamy. You do get a bit of a stronger flavour as well. It's not massively different, but yeah. The mini ones are quite nice, I must say, but they're just not as intense as the ones. I did try the mint ones again not long ago, and they were a lot better, I think, the mini mint ones. They just conveyed the mint flavour a lot better in a smaller package, and it just seemed to work a lot better. These ones, though, they're still nice, but nothing too special in the mini form, but the bigger ones are a lot better. So for me, yeah, I think the mini ones, they're just not quite as good. They're okay, but they're just not as good as the bigger ones. They're just, everything's just less. It's just more toned down. So I think they're probably a 3.5 out of 5, the smaller ones. But the bigger ones, good 4.5. So almost a 4.5 out of 5, I think, but I might just stick it at 4. But certainly closer to a 4.5 than anything else. Lovely creamy centre, lovely chocolate as well. Nice, you know, although the chocolate's still below the mini ones, it's still quite thick in places. But just all overall experience, all the crunch, all the velvetiness, all the smoothness, and the flavour and everything of the big one is just slightly better, really. But I think the gingerbread flavour is a bit, nothing too special, I don't think. It's okay, but it didn't blow my socks off. I thought it was alright. But yeah, so I don't know whether it really adds too much to it. But you know, it's a Christmas edition. It gives you that Christmassy flavour, doesn't it? So there you go. Alright, so time for the deliciously snowy Soreen. Yes, what's it say on the back of this one? What does it say? 400 grams, 335 calories, 2.3 grams of fat, 0.5 of which is saturates, and per 30 gram loaf, 101 calories, 0.7 grams of fat, 0.2 of which are saturates. Suitable for vegetarians and vegans, it says. Alright, there's the ingredients there. Candied diced ginger, 8%. Ginger, sugar, glucose. Alright, very nice. Pear juice concentrate. Niacin, B3, whatever that is. Alright, there we go. Preservatives. Alright, calcium carbonate. Yeast. Okay. Right, interesting. Yeah, so basically Soreen's Mini Loaves, as you don't know, they do a few of these actually. Soreen was a malt loaf. Bit of a, I wouldn't say it's quite like Marmite, either love it or hate it, but it's not far off, to be honest with you. It's a bit of a funny product, has a bit of a funny taste to it. But they've done these mini loaves, and I discovered the banana one in my works canteen. It's just these mini, it's like a little banana thing. It was so nice. I tried some of the others, and a lot of the others aren't as nice actually. But the banana one is particularly lovely. But they've done these gingerbread ones as well. So yeah, individually wrapped, it says. No crumbs. Right. Vegan, low in saturated fat. There you go, some calorie information there. So quite interesting one, this one. So we'll give these a bit of an open, get straight into them. In fact, hang on. Let's see under here. Something else is going on here. What's this? There you go, the banana lunchbox loaves. Okay, there we go. They're the really nice ones, those ones. They are really nice. How to enjoy me, it says. Nibble me daintily or eat me all in one go. Right, I'm delicious on my own. There's no need to add butter. Tell everyone how you ate me on Instagram, Twitter, all right, or Facebook, I guess. Yeah, there we go. Yummy. There we go. Get in touch and happy, stuff like that. All right. Have a peel under here. All right. Have a peek under here. Okay, something upside down. That's about on a mission to improve the world. Yes, make everything go greener. All right, we aim to be greener, okay, and so much so that they've actually coloured it in green. Right, there we are. Okay, so yeah, I was, I'd say I'd look into that if it's important to you, because I'm sure there's always small print, but nonetheless, it seems to be pretty good. So we've got from here. So you can see you could probably fit in an extra one with the cardboard all the way to the end. It's not unusual. And they've all got the same design on them, so I'll lift them all up actually, maybe I can. Little gingerbread man. There you go, yeah, very nice. Alright, so it's about being blue on the front, the orange on the inside, so it's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? You know, I don't know why. Anyway, it looks nice, nice blue colour, I must say. Okay, let's get into these then. So that's what we're up against. It's a bit flat on the top. Did say what, 30 grams each, did it say, per 30 gram loaf? We'll give a bit of a measure. Let's have a look. So I can zeroise that. There we go. Alright. So it's a bit squishy, so I have to be careful. Roughly 7 centimetres. The width, roughly 3.3, 3.4 maybe. And height, about 3.4 as well. 2.4, sorry, 2.4. Alright, yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's give it a bit of a nibble then, see what it's like. Quite excited for this one. I've made some kind of crazy thing going on. There we go. Alright, let's give it a bit before I destroyed the cardboard ever hadn't. Alright, so yeah, let's give it a bit of a taste. Quite excited for this. It does have a gingery smell, but it's like mixed with something else, I think. Probably the malt loaf maybe. It doesn't actually describe itself as a malt loaf. Gingerbread flavour mini loaves. It doesn't really call itself malt or anything like that. Well, it does look like a mini bread, doesn't it? In a way, sort of. But in fact, we'll just give it a bit of a... they're quite hollow under here, you see. That's the problem I've got. You can see it squished a bit. You can see that I can kind of inflate it. Kind of rip into it here. You can kind of see there, it's just hollow really. So it's always a bit of a problem with these, you know. I don't know why that happens. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but you can kind of say, you can just look into it and you can see that it's just hollow. Yeah, it's got like an air pocket. So, don't know. Bit of a problem with these loaves. They are all a bit like that, but how does it taste? That's important, I guess, isn't it? Let's find out. A nice consistency actually, quite nice and chewy. Doesn't taste like bread basically, it's quite chewy, it's like more of a cake, a chewy cake. I can't taste any, and he said he just had it was, what was it, sugar, candied dried ginger I think it said. I can't taste anything resembling that, so it's got stuck in my teeth a bit. I can't, you know, I'm not tasted any sort of chewy gingery pieces or anything like this. But there is a nice ginger flavour there. It's quite you know, ginger. Yeah, ginger flavour, and it comes across as gingerbread for obvious reasons. I mean, it has a sort of consistency of bread. It tastes like you know, it doesn't just taste like a ginger biscuit or just ginger. Yeah. It's pretty successful being a gingerbread, that I think, you know. I quite like that. I think it's pretty good. It tastes like gingerbread. It's just got that sort of that sort of gingery taste, but obviously a bit of cake as well. I think it's pretty good actually, pretty successful. I don't think it's going to blow your socks off. You know, it is kind of still what it is, but it's pretty nice, really. It's got a nice consistency. As I said, some of them, the loaves have been a bit unsuccessful. Some of them, you know, some of them really good, like the banana one. I don't think it's quite as good as the banana one, but it does successfully achieve being a gingerbread flavour for sure, and it has a consistency, let's say a subtle ginger taste. I think it's pretty good actually, yeah. I think it's pretty good. I think about 4 out of 5, I'd say that one. Pretty nice indeed, that. I'm impressed with that. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I'd recommend it for sure. I say some of the loaves have been hit or miss really, but that was pretty nice. So yeah, 4 out of 5 for sure, that one. Pretty much spot on 4 out of 5 by the way. I wouldn't say it's really close to 4.5 or 3.5. But yeah, very nice that. And if you like ginger, particularly gingerbread, I think you'd enjoy tasting that one for sure. Alright, now on for the big daddy, yes. Oh, hang on, upside down. The KitKat gingerbread flavour, yes, so gingerbread flavour KitKat new. So there's gingerbread houses in the background, I presume that's what they are anyway. Very nice indeed. 8 of them. Yes, 104 calories each per serving. 1 bar is 1 serving. There we go. It's got the Rainforest Line certified cocoa there. So I always look into that if it's important to you. Right, so here we go. Here's a perfect example here. So you can see here, UK only, wrap and film, recycle at store, don't recycle at home, basically. You can see here there, it says Republic of Ireland, recycle at home. Why can't you in the UK? It really irritates me that. Right, but there you go, more Rainforest Line certified cocoa. Your break is part of an innovative program in West Africa helping cocoa farming families to increase their income, plant trees and help kids into school. Alright, there we go. Yeah. I'll say I would always look into it if it's important to you, that, because you don't know really for sure what they're doing, do you? You know, it sounds good, doesn't it? But you know, as I say, I won't assume that it's all perfect, you know. But hopefully it will be. Food vegetarians, 8 times 20.7 grams equals 165.6 in total. Get in touch, not happy, stuff like that. 8 bars of 2 crispy wafer fingers covered in gingerbread flavour milk chocolate, 66.9%. There's all the ingredients there. You can see there's palm fat in there. And reinforced science certified cocoa. Find it at ra.org. Alright, here's the calories. So 400 grams, 503 calories, 24.5 grams of fat, 13.8 of which are saturates. And then per bar, I think that's why it's per serving. So 104 calories, 5.1 grams of fat, 2.9 of which are saturates. Alright, there we go. 1 bar is 1 serving. Okay, so let's get into these, I think. Give them a bit of an open. Alright, so we do have 8 of them here. So we'll take one out. Why not? Okay, so seems like there's a sort of like, feels like there should be something there, doesn't there? But yeah, they're all a bit like that, so I don't know. Okay, nice packaging otherwise. It's pretty good. Something on the back, what does it say there? Large pieces of packaging recycle more easily. Try to open this wrapper in one piece. It's a new one, isn't it? Alright. Okay. Well, yeah, right, there we go, we've done it. Alright, there we go. Let's put the foil on the inside there. Okay, has it got a gingerbread smell? Does a bit. Yeah, it does a bit. It smells a bit like Lebkuchen now. What's it have on the... there's always a problem with these where you use that cinnamon and things. Let's just see what it says on the back. Let's give you any clue of what the flavourings are. Flavourings, yeast, raisin agent, natural flavourings, it just says. So I don't know. There's nothing obvious in there. Not like they put in cinnamon or anything like that, so I'm not sure. Alright, here we go. So we've got the KitKat here. So this is what KitKat is. Those you don't know, I'm sure most of you probably do. It's a bit melty today, so I'm being a bit careful. You can see it says KitKat on it. Sometimes they have hashtag MyBreak on them. We'll give a bit of a measure. So I'm trying to be careful here because it's a bit warm today. I don't know, unless it's just me. So could just be me. Let's try and zeroize it. Okay, if we can. Alright, so let's see if we can give a measure. We'll do the width here. Bit of a strange mark in there. So the width 3.1, height 1 centimetre almost, 9 millimetres, 1 centimetre. Between the fingerboards, well, I can't really get that far in there. Got the height of the little step. Got 2.4. I think the length is the last one, isn't it? Right, now it's longer at the bottom, is at the top because it's like a step. Alright, we've got about 8.9, maybe 9 centimetres there. And as you can see, there's like, it's not straight at the sides. You know, this, that, and the other. Just one way they'll probably try and save money, making that step a bit more, you know, a bit more of a, bit more of a bigger angle, maybe. You know. Alright, but there we go. Alright, so you can obviously snap this in half into a finger. Let's do it. There we are. There we go. As I say, you can see there. And we'll give it a bit of a rough measure with the ruler. The width is quite rough, this. 1.1 centimetres, I think, in width. And the length at the top, about 8.5. Alright, now if we snap it in half. There we go. Very nice. There's a wafer there with the cocoa cream filling. I think the cocoa cream apparently is just, apparently that's actually just KitKats that they've, you know, offcuts essentially, that they just grind down and pulverise or whatever and put in the middle of the KitKat. But which came first? Bit of a chicken egg one there, isn't it? It smells very nice. I think it looks a bit darker in the middle as well than a regular KitKat. I don't know if that's just me imagining it, but it does look that way. Well, how does it taste? Let's find out. Definitely got a nice gingerbread taste and flavour. It's okay actually. I think the chocolate kind of affects the gingerbread flavour a bit. It doesn't quite taste 100% gingerbread, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's sort of, it's like it's, you know, I won't say dilutes it, but it just affects it, you know, but in a way that you'd probably expect. I don't think it's a problem. Nice crunch to it as well. Yeah, let's say gingerbread flavoured milk chocolate. There's no chocolate banana that's flavoured gingerbread. But the biscuit itself looked a bit darker than normal. I mean, it's okay. It's not bad. I don't think it's in a blaze sauce. It is what it is. It's just a KitKat with a gingerbread flavour. But it just tastes of, gingerbread. It doesn't taste of just ginger, basically. That's one problem you get if you have like the Oreos from before. It just tastes of something random, for cinnamon in that case. But yeah, I think it does taste of, it does taste nicely of, of gingerbread. So you can do the old KitKat straw challenge. Let's see. Not very well, doesn't work too well. You can see I've used it as a straw. And that's all the inside. Not bad, messy. Not the best one for that though, to be honest with you. I don't know why it didn't quite work as well. And didn't taste that great when I did it. I mean, it didn't taste awful, but usually that can be quite a nice thing to do. But I think the gingerbread flavour and the coffee didn't quite work, so I'm not sure about that one. So maybe give that a miss. But overall, not too bad, that I think you'd say. I mean, it just tastes, it's quite nice. I mean, the fact that the chocolate's flavoured, sometimes the Nestle chocolate's the weak part of Nestle products. Sometimes, sometimes it works quite well, Yorkies for instance, but sometimes with KitKats it can be a bit, it's almost. But this one, I think because of the flavouring, does taste pretty good actually, and it's not too bad. It's a nice gingerbread flavour, and it works reasonably well with the chocolate. As I say, there is a kind of bit of a, I don't know, it just sort of doesn't taste perfect with the chocolate, but it's not bad. It just comes across and feels a bit gingerbready. I don't know, it works quite well actually. So now he's going to blow his socks off. It's not too, it's it is what it is basically, but it smells nice. It tastes of the gingerbread, and as I say, not just ginger or just random, winter spices. So it's good 3.5, 4. I think KitKats generally are probably 3.5. I think maybe a 4 to push. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say 4 out of 5. I think it's close to a 3.5 than a 4.5 KitKats generally, I think. I think I've been a bit kind for the flavour here, so maybe on another day it could have been 3.5 out of 5. But nonetheless, I think it was nice and I enjoyed that. So, I recommend that one. A nice gingerbread flavour for sure. So an interesting selection of products here, guys. Yes, let me know what you think. Which one's your favourite? Do you like gingerbread generally? What got closest in your mind to it? And what do you reckon to the Oreos? Do you actually think there were any gingerbread flavour in there at all? I mean, well, there isn't any, so I don't know if you do. If you did find some, I don't know where you got it from, but interesting. But let me know, and leave a like and subscribe, all that sort of thing. You know the drill by now, I'm sure. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now. See ya.